Hey guys, welcome to a new video, and in this particular one we are going to look at how you can contribute to the DYAD Stablecoin project using their GitHub repository. And basically the DYAD Stablecoin is a protocol that allows for price stability of the stablecoin, and what this means is that all of the DYAD stablecoins in circulation also have a real world asset backing them. And other than that, it also follows a mechanism known as seigniorage, which basically allows the DYAD protocol to sell off excess DYAD tokens as soon as the price of DYAD exceeds the target price. In that case, the price comes back down to the target price. And on the other hand, when the price goes below this target, then the protocol can also buy these DYAD tokens to bring it back up to the target. And this is a very interesting protocol, and DYAD also has its own DeFi platform, which allows users to buy kerosene, which is their currency. Also, they allow you to stake or unstake, as well as claim these tokens through their platform. And in this video, I just wanted to show you guys how you can contribute to this project. And I recently came across this on Twitter, and you can also look at their page on Twitter. They are doing something completely unique, and they're solving a major problem, which is the price stabilization problem. Now, you may have heard of a couple of stable coins already, like USDT, that is backed by the US dollar, obviously. And on the other hand, DYAD is basically backed by real world assets as well, but it also follows seigniorage process, which allows its price to stay stable in the long run. Now, this is, if you want to learn more about what DYAD is, you can go to their website, which is dyadstable.xyz, and you can look at the docs. And I have it opened already on my browser, and you can learn more about what DYAD is, how it functions, etc. They have a lot of useful resources for understanding how the protocol works and about their tokenomics, etc. Now, let's go ahead and see how we can contribute to their open source project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close these excess tabs, and I'm going to open GitHub, where we are going to see how exactly we can contribute to the DYAD frontend repository. So before you contribute, you're going to have to fork this repository in order to actually start contributing. In my case, I've already forked it, but just to show you how it's done, I'm going to go ahead and fork this repository once again, so that you guys can see how it's done. So if you follow this particular URL, which is DYAD Stablecoin/frontend, you are going to land exactly at this front-end repository, and on the bottom, on the top right, you'll find an option that says fork. You can click on this, and it will take you to a different page where you can fill in some extra information. For example, the repository name that you want to give to this forked version of the real repository, and you can give it any name you want. It's totally up to you, and you can make it something more recognizable. For example, DYAD -frontend. But since I already have a fork of this repository, I cannot exactly create a new one. So, but you guys know how to fork now, and you can go ahead and start contributing. So let's go ahead and go to the forked version of the repository that I have of DYAD frontend. Yeah, I do have a forked version of DYAD frontend on my GitHub. So that means that I can already start contributing. So the very first thing that you need to do is obviously you need to copy the Git URL so that you can add it as an origin variable on your local Git repository. But first, let's go ahead and create a new folder so that we can pull all the code in this repository and start working on it. Okay, so you can see that I have opened VS Code, and I am inside of a folder named DYAD, but you can be inside of any folder you want. It's just what I chose to name it at this point. And remember, we need to pull this code in our local file or folder, So let's go ahead and copy this URL. So we can do that. I'm just going to write get init first, and then let's go ahead and pull all this report. Actually, let's go ahead and add this repository as an origin. I'm going to write get add origin, and then this particular URL. Sorry, it's going to be get remote. It's going to be a get remote add origin, and then you're going to go ahead and pull the code in this repository. So let's go ahead and write get pull origin main. It's optional. You can also use this without the word main, and main is the main branch of this repository, which is why I have used the word over there. And as soon as you do that, you'll notice that we now have all the code that we need in this particular folder named DYAD, and which is great. And we can go ahead and get started with this project by installing all the dependencies that are in this particular repository. So let's go ahead and install all the dependencies in the package.json, but obviously first we'll need to cd into this project. So let's go ahead and write cd space DYAD. Okay, I'm sorry, it's already we are already inside of DYAD, my bad. And we can actually go ahead and start installing this all the packages in this project. I'm gonna hit enter now, which should install all of the packages inside of node modules folder. It's loading, and it will certainly take some time before it's done loading. Okay, great. So it's done installing all the packages. As we can see, package log.json has turned yellow and has an M around it, which means that yeah, we have installed all of our packages. But obviously we're not done yet, because what we have to do is we need to create a new .env file in order to use some environment variables. Basically, this project uses a bunch of environment variables, API keys, in order to access some important services. And for that, we are going to need to define those API keys inside of a .env file. So let's go ahead and create a new .env file so that we can get this project to work locally. Now I'm going to click on this button which says new file, and I'm going to type in .env. When you go back to the project and you look at the README file, you'll notice that it says you'll need to create a new .env file. And there are a total of 4 API keys that you need to add in this particular place. And the 4th one is actually not an API key, it's the subgraph URL, which is required to access the backend services. So without wasting much time, let's actually copy this code and paste it inside of our .env file. Great. Now let's go ahead and get all of these IDs or API keys from their respective websites. So the very first one, as you can see, is the Wallet Connect ID. And what this means is that this project is using Wallet Connect in some places. So in order to access the full complete features of this particular platform, we are going to need to generate a new Wallet Connect ID by creating an account on Wallet Connect's official website. So I think it's this one. I'm going to click. Let's click on Start Building. So we'll need to create an account. Let's go ahead and do that. I already have one, so I just need to log in basically, and it's going to take me to the dashboard. So once you have logged in or signed up, you are going to be taken to the sort of like a dashboard for Wallet Connect. And over here, what you'll need to do is create your own project. So let's click on that, and let's name this project something like DYAD. And you can add any link for this project. It's not important which link it is. You can add any link. For now, I'm just going to add a random thing like demo.com, HTTPS. Great. So let's click on continue. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to choose AppKit right now, and let's hit continue. Let's choose Next.js, because this is basically a Next.js project, which you'll need to keep in mind. And great, new project has been created successfully, And on this particular page, you will also find the ID that we need to add to our environment variable. If you scroll further below, and this is the project ID that you will need to copy and paste into your application right over here. Great, so we are done adding the value for the Wallet Connect ID, and the second one, as you can see, is the Reservoir API key. Now, Reservoir is basically like an SDK for Web3 that allows various UI as well as hooks to build Web3 features for your React applications, and it's pretty cool. It has a bunch of different features and UI kits that allow you to build Web3 applications or decentralized applications from scratch pretty fast. So what we need to do now is go to Reservoir website so that we can create a new account once again and obtain their API keys. Great, so I am on Reservoir's website. It's called reservoir.tools. It's called reservoir.tools, and what we'll need to do is we'll need to kind of sign up or create an account depending on whether you have one already. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sign in because I have a project already. So let's click on sign in. Okay, so I'm now done signing in. It's now taking me to kind of like a dashboard again, where you can look at your API key and your app name as well as your created date name. As you can see, I already have created a new app, and you'll need to create your own app over here if you don't have one already. And it's just a very simple step. You need to click a few buttons and you're done creating it. And what you need to do next is copy your API key, go back to our .env file and paste it. Great, so we are done with 2 API keys. Let's now move on to the third one, which is Alchemy. Now let's go ahead and get the Alchemy API key, and in order to do that, we'll need to go to Alchemy's website. It's basically alchemy.com, and again, once again, we'll need to either sign up or sign in. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. It's going to take you to sort of like a dashboard again, and what you'll need to do is you need to create a new app and give it a name and description and a use case, and then you're pretty much good to go. You just need to choose a chain or activate products. But basically, I already have an application here, as you can see, DYAD, which you will be able to see too once you have created a new project. And if you scroll further below, you'll be able to find the API keys. Actually, I think it's available right over here. Yeah, basically this is the API ID. I'm just going to go ahead and copy something. Sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and copy the API ID and go back to our application and paste it right over here. So for the as far as the fourth point goes, we already have this value inside of our application. We don't need to create a new account on any website, because if you go to search and paste this particular value, you're going to find that it already exists in multiple places. For example, right over here, we have inside of deploy.yml. You can scroll below and find the graph URL exactly here. So let's go ahead and copy this, and let's paste it right over here. Great. So now, as you can see, that we have successfully filled our .env files with all the necessary environment variables, which means that we can go ahead and try starting over the application locally. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to clear the console first, and then let's first build the Next.js application by running npm run build. And hopefully, if you have done everything correctly, it's going to build the application successfully. Okay, great. So it's now done building the application. Now let's go ahead and try to run this application locally. We're going to write npm run dev, and as you can see that the application has started on localhost 3000. So let's see if it's working without any errors or not. Great. So as you can see that the application is working perfectly. We can see some data as well. For example, we can look at information about the liquidity of kerosene token. We can also access features like connect wallet, which allows us to connect our wallet to this application. Let's use MetaMask. Okay, let's go ahead and connect. It's asking us to switch to Ethereum mainnet, and boom, we are now able to access the application without any problems, and we can go ahead and start making changes to the application as well. And in fact, let's go ahead and see if we are able to make any changes, or if our application or if our changes are also getting reflected back to the application. I'm going to go back to our website, and let's just go to page.tsx. I just want to show you that we are indeed able to change things in the application. For example, this is text that says earn kerosene. Yeah, which is this one. Now let's try to change this to something else just to see if if things are working fine. Let's change it to earn now ! I've saved the file. Now let's go back to our application, and this should change to the text that I just wrote in page.tsx. Great. So as you can see that this text has now changed, and which is pretty amazing because now we can go ahead and start improving this application. One last thing that I may want to add is how you can create a pull request. The way to do that is you can simply the first thing you will obviously need to do is you need to create a new branch and push your changes to that branch to the origin that we have set up, which is the forked version of DYAD Stablecoin. For example, let me just show you how we can do that. I'm going to write git branch. I'm going to create a new branch very quickly. Fix slash some text, and I'm going to check out to this branch. Okay, cool. And let's go ahead and add all these changes and push to the remote repository, which is the forked version that we have on GitHub. I'm going to write git add and then dot. That should add all the changes that we made, and you can look at all the changes that we have over here. Now obviously you can see that there is the package block.json file that is part of the changes, but we don't want to push this file because we don't want it to be in production, and for that reason we can unstage this file. So now we only have a page.tsx file that's going to be pushed to this branch, and let's go ahead and add a comment, which is going to be like, you just add a git space and then you write comment -m, and then you write a message like that says changed some text. Now let's push this change to our branch. Git push origin. What's the name of the branch? Once again, it was fix slash some text. Boom. Now this has pushed the code to the some text branch. Let's go ahead and go to the repository that we had forked. As you can see, this says that fix slash some text had some recent pushes 2 seconds ago, which means that this is just referring to the latest changes that we pushed to the branch. And you can see there's a button that says compare and pull request, and what this does is that you'll be able to see all the changes that we have made in this branch, and you'll be able to create a pull request as well. So let's click on that, and boom, it takes us to open a pull request page. You need to add a title which basically describes your changes in a very brief sentence, and you need to add a detailed description of why do you think that change is important, or how do you think it will improve the application. And below it you can obviously see all the files that have changed. In our case, we have just changed a couple of text. Now obviously I'm not going to create a pull request because It's a pretty meaningless change, and it has no purpose, and it's not going to improve the platform in any way, and it's not solving any critical bugs either. But I just wanted to show you how it's going to look like if you want to contribute to the DYAD Stablecoin project, which is really amazing, and I highly recommend that you do contribute to this project, because I personally done it, and the people over there are amazing. I also talked to Shafu, who is the lead engineer there, and they're great people. They're building a very unique product, and right now crypto really needs projects like these in order to discover more real-world use cases, because the industry is still new, and I think that projects like these have a lot of potential, and hopefully you can also learn a lot by contributing to this project. And the whole purpose of this video was to basically educate you on how you can set up and start contributing to this protocol. And I hope that you found this useful as well, and maybe it's going to help you learn more about Web3 development and building decentralized applications. And thanks a lot for watching this video. If you have any questions about anything in this video, you can always reach out to me in my Discord server, and the link for the server is going to be down in the comments below. I'm going to pin it, and I'm also going to leave a link to the GitHub repository of DYAD protocol, where you can take the code and create a fork and start contributing yourself. And thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys in another video.